I can tell you're stuck in victim mentality by the lack of your emotional intelligence. Let's discuss. Have you ever gotten into an argument to where you're so upset and you spaz out in a bit of rage and your mouth is so reckless and you get so upset that you disregard how you look, how you sound, and most importantly, who you hurt? Been there. I hate to tell you, but it sounds like you are trapped in a stage of emotional instability. That was my case when I was going through this season in my life. And this may be why you are stuck in. There's a saying that he who triggers you has control over you. The good news is I'm here to tell you that it's not your fault that you are a childhood victim from your trash can ass parent, guardian, or family member. But we're going to help fix that. Think back. How many times have you allowed others to push your buttons only to be left looking like the crazy or unhinged one in the family? Your reasoning may very well be justified, but your reaction makes you look foolish. As someone who lacked self-love, displayed codependent behaviors such as people-pleasing, fear of rejection, and victim mentality, I now empower Gen X moms on how to break free of people-pleasing, generational curses, and loss of self. And we do this by setting boundaries, healing, and connecting to our inner power. A simpler way to say it is I help people discover self-love and release codependency. So small steps that we can do today in order to recover and heal. The next time you come up into a situation to where it's a kind of a heated argument and you feel the emotions rise inside of you, the best thing that I've learned to do is to take a step to pause. Get your thoughts together. If you have to walk away, every situation or every comment or every question doesn't require a response from you if you're not in a mental space to respond or give that question. It's okay to say, I need a moment, and walk away. Pay attention to your surroundings. Read the room. You know if you're being set up or someone is looking to trigger you. Don't give them that power. Don't give them the energy. I've always found it better to just keep quiet, especially when you can tell, because you can feel the sensation inside of you when your emotions are getting the best of you. It's always best to err on the side of caution and just keep quiet. That always works, because at the end of the day, you can come back from being quiet, but you can't come back to lashing out or saying something that you can't take back later. You know, I'm at this stage in my life now to where I can come to you and give this advice and be transparent about the trials and tribulations that I went through. I had to learn, and it took me years to figure out how to emotionally regulate, how to just be okay with not responding. Even though you want to pop off and it's like, I wish a nigga would, and motherfucker, you could just try me. We're healing. You know, God is still working with me because I'm about 90, no, I ain't gonna say 99, 95%, that maybe 90, maybe 80. I'm still healing. It's a process. But anyway, so I wanted to bring this video to you so that way you can see that it's a journey. But once you are aware of what your triggers are, once you have discovered what it is inside of you that you haven't dealt with, it gets easier. But the first step is awareness. And so after awareness, there's so many different steps, and this journey is not easy, which is why a lot of people stay stuck. A lot of people don't grow. So doing the right thing and being better, that's a decision, that's a choice. And so we can't always stay stuck in the victim mentality. We can't always take the easy way out, which is to cuss a bitch out or pop off, or we can't always do that. The reason that I wanted to touch on emotional intelligence is because, you know, I wanted to develop this safe space and come to the community and be transparent about some of the things that I've overcome. And come from a point of experience and not so much as textbook. A lot of times I see material and people want to quote what they've read in a book, but these things that I come to you about are real life situations that I went through and I've overcome. And I remember a situation to where it was a family event. Family were traveling from out of town. And so I had my son to go pick up my relatives from the airport. And so this was a festive time, I think around the holidays. And so at this time I'm divorced, but my ex-husband, he lives close by. And so I'm waiting and waiting for my family to arrive, like a 5-year-old kid. And my son takes my family to his father's house. I fucking lost it. So I'm waiting because it took him a little longer, because it should only took him 45 minutes. Because I'm here in Georgia, and Atlanta airport is only like 35, 40 minutes for me. So I'm waiting and waiting. And so an hour and a half goes by, mind you, after he called and said that he was on his way back. And so I called him and I was like, hey, where are y'all? Oh, and she was like, oh, we stopped at so-and-so's house. Listen, my son got on the phone and I was like, how you gonna take my family over to your dad's? And I just went off. And so I never forget, my father was there, my uncle and everything. And I was like, how the fuck he gonna take this? And I was cussing and just, it wasn't overreacting, but it was overreacting. Because what I don't want to do is make it seem like I wasn't justified for how I felt, but I could have handled it in a different manner. I could have communicated better with my son. But in the moment, I was the fucking pop-off queen. And so when I didn't like that version of myself, because it was like, I love my children. And so now, I would never. But me back then, it was like, I could have been able to communicate better with my son by simply saying, hey, I'm sitting here waiting. You could have told me or asked me, this is my family and it hurts me that you would do X, Y, Z. I can say that now. But me back then, it was like, fuck that. Everybody getting cussed out. And when I say everybody, even the relatives, that everybody got cussed out. Because it's like, how dare you, y'all in my vehicle. They could have got Ubers. So I'm sending my vehicle for you all to be picked up. And you don't think enough of me to come straight, or you don't process. And this is like 8+ adults, in my SUV. You don't process how it would have made me feel knowing that I'm waiting on you. But that's besides the point. The point that I want to convey is that when you learn about emotional intelligence, it's not about that person. It's not about what they did, but it's always about how we internalize, how we respond, and how we react. Bottom line, period. And so I want to take this time to let you know that victim mentality is normal. It's nothing wrong with you, but we have to be better. And I want to help you transition out of that stage in your life, because I was there, and it's not a great place to be. No one really wants to stay in that, especially if you aspire to be the best, especially if you aspire to be the best version of you. If you enjoy this content, please like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you have any questions, put it down in the comments, and maybe in my next video, I'll be able to answer that question and also tag you in the next video. Just remember, guys, this is a safe space. I'm not for everybody, but I can be for you if you need me to.